Hi, how's everybody doing? I just wanted to share this little video with you. Jimmy Dore was talking about the tweet that Biden put out there about 3 weeks ago, and I was trying to warn people about Lindsey Graham and Rick Scott. They are going after your Social Security money. They're going to take your Social Security benefits, and they're going to stop Social Security. So all the money you paid into it, those criminals have found a way to get their hands on that. Rick Scott is a notorious criminal. He was, before he became governor of Florida, he was in court for Medicaid fraud and Medicare fraud. He took the fifth over 100 times. There's videos out there of him. This is about over 10 years ago. And then he became governor of Florida. These people are corrupt. What we're dealing with is a mafia type style government. They're all criminals. There's no difference between Republicans. There's no difference between Democrats. They're criminals. They're running a mafia type style government. They're trying to get your retirement money. They already got your 401k. They crashed the stock market. They're going after now. They're going to go after your Social Security. They're going to go after grandma's Social Security benefits, and they're going to cut Medicare. But they're not going to cut their salaries. They're not going to take any money from themselves. And the problem is here, people will not do anything about it. They're just, I don't know what it's going to take for people to revolt against this corrupt system that we're dealing with. I just don't understand why people are allowing this to happen until they lose everything. Mark my words and see. The next thing to go is your cars. They're going to come after your cars. Then they're going to come after your property. And you're not going to be able to own anything or have anything. That's the direction our country's going into. And people just don't seem to care. So let's hear what Jimmy Dore has to say about this. I watch his videos a lot. He's a pretty neutral type person. He is a liberal, but he goes after the government and explains what's going on. He's actually had problems with some of the things that's going on with his medical condition because of some injections that he's received. So let's take a listen to what he's saying.
Joe Biden tweeted this out July 9th.
I've seen this tweet also.
This is why elections matter. You want to see what the video was? This is what he tweeted out.
The ultra-MAGA Republicans, they're going after your Social Security.
Yeah, that's that criminal right
Every
there.
5 years,
Rick Scott.
Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid have to be reauthorized or they go out of existence. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, he has a proposal to cut Social Security. I would have thought, had I not seen it on paper and heard them talk about it, I was making this up, not a joke. The senator from Wisconsin, Ron Johnson, promised again that if they regain power, they're going to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. That's why elections have consequences. That's why they matter.
So Joe Biden tweeted out a video pretending he's defending your Social Security from the bad Republicans.
There's jokes too.
Oh, you're kidding.
I know I said it.
I got it, yeah. What kind of right-wing scumbag think that's what should be cut, Social Security? Thank you, Joe Biden. I had no idea what was at stake until you tweeted out that video. The only problem is Joe Biden's been doing he's been wanting to cut Social Security his whole career. And in fact, what he just did was he tapped the anti-Social Security ideologue to oversee the program. Biden nominated Andrew Biggs, this guy, a think tank denizen with a history of slamming Social Security, to oversee government retirement benefits for 66 million Americans. Who appointed him? Joe Biden. For years, he has been a vocal critic of expanded Social Security and workers' rights to a secure, stable retirement free from the vagaries of the stock market. He has dismissed the retirement crisis as a non-issue, and as recently as 2020, he blamed the problems with the Social Security system on older Americans' game of chicken.
Is that referred to them not voting for him? That's the game of chicken?
I don't know what that game is, but that's this guy that Biden just appointed. That's him talking. Here's another. What? Go ahead.
That sounds very much like what that means is people are going to be mad you cut it, and what are they going to do? Not vote for you? Like, that's what it sounds like he's saying with that to me.
Okay.
Am I crazy?
I don't know. And 2 decades ago, Biggs worked on a Bush administration commission that pushed to privatize Social Security. In response to questions from the lever, Biggs suggested he no longer favors privatizing Social Security. Instead, he said he now believes that nation Social Security-like programs should be more focused on guaranteeing against poverty in old age, while middle and high-income individuals take on greater responsibility for saving for retirement on their own, such as by the government establishing universal retirement savings accounts for every worker. Now, what is that? That's privatizing Social Security. That's making Social Security not what it is, an entitlement program because you pay into it, and they're going to make it into a welfare program. So then now people can have disdain for it.
He's not suggest.
You see how these people work, these criminals, these creatures? The first thing we need to do is cut their pay. Everything that they own should be taken from them. All their property, all their money, everything should be taken from them. All these politicians' monies and all their property should be taken from them, and it should be given back to the American people. These creatures have been extorting our money for years. George Carlin talked about it in, he said it was going to happen. They're coming after your Social Security. They're coming after your benefits. They're coming after your 401. They've been doing it for years, and this is the worst president we've ever had. He is a sociopath. He doesn't care about anybody but himself and his family, and he'll do anything to get your stuff. You people are just sitting back and letting this happen. We don't stand up to these fucking animals. They are going to make our country like Sri Lanka. Only the difference in Sri Lanka is the people of that country revolted against their government. They took back their government, and they chased these criminals out of their government. People in America are just sheep. They're really a disgrace to the human race, the majority of our population. They'll never do anything. They'll never stand up against tyranny. They'll never do anything until it's too late. And by that time, they're going to have all your guns and all your weapons, and you ain't going to be able to defend yourself or your family, and they're going to let these criminals come into your homes and do whatever they want with you to get you out. They want population control. These are evil, evil creatures. They're Luciferian Jesuit physicians, and nobody wants to stop them. The best way to do this right now is we need a complete work stoppage until they are out of office, and they all need to be arrested. Rick Scott should have been arrested 15, 20 years ago. Lindsey Graham is a criminal. He should have been arrested years ago. Okay? We cannot be merciful with these folks. You use the law like they use against you. They want to put your family members in jail for drinking and driving. They want to put your family members and friends in jail for possession of marijuana or crack or whatever. But they're okay with abortions. They're okay with murder. They're okay with anything that has to do with depopulation. And they'll do anything to keep you poor. And anybody that stands and doesn't stand against this, you're just as evil as the people doing this to you. This is the problem. You can't sit there and witness crimes and not do anything about it. Most of these people on here that do videos of sports cars, they have thousands and thousands of subscribers. They will never, ever, ever tell you the truth of what's going on. They will never stand up for what's right. All they care about is taking your money. They're part of a corrupt and broken system. It's just the way that this is. The federal government is so corrupt and so broken, we literally have to start over. We have to go back to the original 1776 Constitution and get rid of the 1871 Constitution. We are not a corporation. We are living, breathing human beings. We're not corporate entities, and these folks are not going to take your money that you work for. They're taking Medicare money out of your checks. They're taking Medicaid money out of your checks. They're taking some states that you get state tax, you get city tax, you get school tax. They tax you on gasoline. They've been taxing you out of existence. The reason why you don't have as much money as you should is because you're paying taxes so these folks can drive around in luxury cars and eat lobster dinners and have steak dinners and wear dresses that say, I eat the rich. AOC has to go. Maxine Warder has to go. The whole entire bunch of them has to go. And I mean every person in Congress needs to be removed from Congress. You need to send the military down there and arrest these people for high crimes against humanity and war crimes. They are war criminals. They have caused so many problems in this country and in the world that it's going to take us decades to fix this. There's no reason for us to be fighting in any other countries. There's nobody that's attacked us. We are sitting here on a gold mine of natural resources, and these folks are using it to their benefit. They never will cut their salaries. Every year they get more money. Every year they go on vacation. Every year they're living in luxury homes in Washington, D.C. and Martha's Vineyard and all these exuberant places. We need to take everything from them. We are 350 million strong. They are a small percentage of the people. I don't care. No man is going to help you. Only God is going to help you. You can't. Trump is not your savior. Biden's not your savior. Biden is a Luciferian Jesuit that will do anything to destroy this country. He hates America, and he's only been in office because of the corruption and the money and the lobbyists that have been supporting him for decades. And now they're officially coming after your Social Security, and they're coming after Medicare and Medicaid, which we should. Every civilized country in the world has Medicare for all except America. Every civilized country in the world do not incarcerate their citizens at our rate. Now, if we are going to use the laws the way they say to have them on the books, then every one of these politicians, and I mean every one of them, need to be arrested and they need to be court-martialed by generals. And I don't care what the consequences are. If they committed treason and high crimes against humanity and war crimes, they should be executed on live television for the world to see. This is how America deals with treasonous traitors that start wars in other countries and steal the money from the American people. You're being robbed on a daily. Your rent is going up. The gasoline prices are going up. The food prices are going up. They're committing food shortages. What is it going to take for you guys to wake up, you ladies and gentlemen, to wake up and push back on this? I am not saying to do any violence. I am saying a complete work stoppage. I mean everybody. You pick a date and you don't work. Nobody goes anywhere until they are out of office. And we demand the military go and arrest them and have generals sort this out. These people are evil Luciferian creatures that are destroying everything they touch. Now they're coming after your Social Security. Rick Scott's a criminal, and I would confront him in his face, and I would expose him for what he is. He should have been arrested 15 or 20 years ago, along with Lindsey Graham, and even people in South Carolina. There's a guy on this channel on YouTube, Black Scout Survival. He's actually considering running against Lindsey Graham because he is such a corrupt person, Lindsey Graham, that he's had enough of him and he wants to run against him and get him out of office. And I agree with him, but it's not the people, it's the system. The whole system is broken and corrupt beyond repair. You have to get them all out of office. You have to have laws against lobbyists. You have to cut their salary. These people need to live in the districts that they represent. They're not supposed to live in Washington. They're not supposed to be out of their districts without you being able to get a hold of them and be able to petition your needs. First of all, we are dealing with Luciferians, and you cannot negotiate and petition with evil, okay? You need to get it out. You need to cut the head off the snake. The federal government is corrupt and broken beyond repair because these Luciferians will never go by the laws that they wrote on the books. They're making hundreds of millions of dollars off wars. They're making hundreds of millions of dollars off the stock market, and you are suffering, and this is just the beginning. Within the next 5 or 10 years, we are not going to have a country. We're going to be worse off than Sri Lanka, and people are going to be revolting and doing crazy shit on a daily. So if you want to keep feeding into these people, stop voting for these folks. There's no difference between Republican and Democrat. They're all working for an evil system. There's no lesser evil. Well, I voted for this person because they're not as evil as that person. Evil is evil. So if you vote for evil, you're voting for evil. There's no limits to evil. Okay? They're going to say whatever they want, and they're going to do whatever they want, and you're going to listen to them, and you're going to keep feeding into this sick system that's destroying our society. Let's listen to more what Jimmy has to say.
By the way, he's suggesting privatizing.
That's
He's not
exactly
suggesting he's against it. Why did they say that? He's suggesting he's against it.
He's 100% for it.
Oh, it's after the other video.
As Jeff Hauser at the Revolving Door Project pointed out, Trump would routinely refuse to nominate Democrats for the seats on that commission that they were owed on other bipartisan boards and commissions, including the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation and the Securities and Exchange Commission. So there's supposed to be a certain amount of Democrats, a certain amount of Republicans on these boards. Trump just ignored that shit. But Biden isn't. Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump quietly pocket vetoed potential appointees recommended by Chuck Schumer during the Trump presidency, and sadly, the Democratic leadership ignored our call for action and never raised a fuss about it. So that's how you know Joe Biden's full of shit. And now you know why he's really here I'll tell you why he's super full of shit. Watch this video.
As Democrats, we can't launch dishonest attacks against fellow Democrats. We have to.
Oh, was this put out by Biden during the campaign? Let's see.
Beat Donald Trump. Now Bernie's campaign has unleashed a barrage of negative attacks on Joe Biden. They've even accused Joe Biden of supporting Paul Ryan's cuts to Social Security.
How could he say that?
campaign is not telling the truth.
Paul Ryan was correct. When he did the tax code, what's the first thing he decided we had to go after? Social Security and Medicare.
There it is. There he is agreeing with Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan was right. Now, Joe Biden made a commercial that said he didn't do this.
He said he couldn't believe
Yeah.
that they talk about doing this.
Yes.
We need to do something about Social Security and Medicare. It's the only way you can find room to pay for it.
I mean, whatever happened to that old conservative discipline about paying for what you spend? I'm up for re-election this year, and I'm going to remind everybody what I did at home, which is going to cost me politically. When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. I meant Medicare and Medicaid. I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government. And I not only tried it once, I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time. Somebody has to tell me in here how we're going to do this hard work without dealing with any of those sacred cows.
So that's Joe Biden claiming he's trying to save Social Security. Do you see why it's ridiculous?
Once, twice, three times a MAGA, an ultra MAGA.
Bernie, now is let's watch this commercial again. Can I watch this again?
As Democrats, we can't launch dishonest attacks against fellow Democrats. We have to beat Donald Trump. Now Bernie's campaign has unleashed a barrage of negative attacks on Joe Biden. They've even accused Joe Biden of supporting Paul Ryan's cuts to Social Security.
We just showed you the video where he did that. And they're upset that Bernie Sanders was pointing it out. It's not. This is no time to tell the truth about Joe Biden. We've got to beat Trump so we can protect Medicare. And then we'll get elected and we'll cut Medicare.
Bernie's campaign is not telling the truth.
Paul Ryan was correct. When he did the tax code, what's the first thing he decided we had to go after? Social Security.
Hey, that does not
Medicare.
match up with the initial denials.
So let's remember the first video.
The ultra MAGA Republicans, they're going after your Social Security. They've written it down. Every 5 years, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid have to be reauthorized or they go out of existence. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, he has a proposal to cut Social Security. I would have thought, had I not seen it on paper and heard them talk about it, I was making this up. Not a joke.
You've endorsed this. I thought they were making it up. You mean that thing that you endorsed when you whispered in a really super unclever way?
He was dropping a truth bomb on
Yeah.
you.
Here's the truth. You gotta cut Social Security and Medicare. And then he smiles about it.
You could all.
Yeah, because he's a sociopath. That's what he's smiling about. He's not ever going to have nothing held against him or held accountable for any of his crimes him and his family are doing. Hunter's never going to be held accountable for anything he does. But he'll stick your kids in prison. He'll take your Social Security from you. He'll take your cars from you, your homes from you, and he'll smile while he's doing it and whisper in some sadistic type fucking way of doing it. You're lucky I'm not president, sir. I would arrest you and every one of your criminal friends, and I would have you court-martialed, and I would have you punished it by the highest extent of the law. And if it came down that you committed treason, we would execute you guys on national television, take all your property, take all take everything from you, okay, and give it back to the American people that you stole it from. You people are Luciferian Jesuits that are destroying our world, not just America. This is the first 81 million people voted for this guy. I highly doubt it. I don't care what anybody says. There's no way this man got more votes than Obama. No way. And if you want my opinion, I think Obama's behind this. I think this guy's a puppet. No one's ever liked Joe Biden. No one's ever cared about him. He's only been a senator because he's got KKK connections and he's a fucking Nazi. Okay? Period. And there's a lot of money. He's been him and his criminal family, along with the Pelosi's, have been laundering money through Ukraine and all these other countries for decades. And no one's ever held them accountable for anything. What's it going to take for you to hold these people accountable? Jimmy Dore's doing what he can do. I'm doing what I can do. And you're doing nothing.